Hello, I'm the official name rater. My job is to look through the first page of Google, review the nicknames provided by the internet, and then give my recommendations at the end. Today, we're looking at Suicune, where's my mouse, which you can see we've covered before, and its new form, Walking Wake. So if you're interested in the original video right here, it will be linked down in the description below or wherever they choose to put the description in the future. A fun thing I learned is, and I gotta make sure to censor this just for safety, the nickname thing that we used to use doesn't exist anymore. It's not here in my Google Drive, and I thought it was like, oh, it's weird, it's just not loading. Fuck it, I don't care, it's still there in the original video. Now I know why we can't access the spreadsheet anymore. It's gone. It doesn't exist. Thankfully, I got through every single entry before whoever decided to delete it, but yeah, we factually can't look back at the nicknames anymore because they don't exist anymore. Someone took that book down. I'll highlight North Star just because I know I mentioned it in the original video. I don't feel too strongly one way or the other, but I'm also not going to argue with anything about it. I don't know, my first thought as far as that would be something more like Minior, but I could understand why you could argue against that. It's fine. I don't have a strong opinion one way or the other. The idea of Listerine, which actually kind of doesn't make sense, because if it looks like toothpaste and you didn't want to call it oral, why not just name it like Colgate? That would make more sense than Listerine. And like, I get it, the little flowy thingy swish, that's fine. That's a stupid nickname, I'm not supporting that, but for the sake of it, why the hell not? Flash Flood's not a bad idea. I suppose it could work on a speedy water-type Pokemon, which there's definitely not shortages of. But, I don't know, I'm not passionate about it. I'll just highlight it for the sake of being something we don't see too often. Now I'm getting mixed messages. They say it's based off the North Wind, now it says it's the East Wind. Which is it? No, wait, did it say North Wind? Yeah, the North Wind. So somebody here is lying. Tsunami is a generic water-type Pokemon nickname you can put on anyone. We've gone over it plenty of times. I'm gonna reluctantly highlight Neptune. I know they're talking fucking Poseidon, Roman god bullshit, but also planets if you care. Crystal, I guess if you want to do that, it's very rare that I feel like naming it after the version it covers is relevant, just because of the names of the games and all that, or, you know, like calling Groudon Ruby just kind of makes you look stupid. But calling Suicune Crystal, although it makes you look stupid, makes you look less stupid than naming your Palkia Pearl, if that makes sense. I'm going to highlight Slipstream for being something we don't see often, if ever, so there's a different water-type nickname you could throw on to probably a nice handful of guys. Okay, so I don't condone this kind of behavior, like it even says in the trailer, naming your Deoxys Magikarp makes you look like a fucking idiot, but I like the joke of I want my opponents to underestimate me, and the fact that each of them could be represented by an evolution. That's just funny to me, but I don't condone that kind of behavior. I also kind of support the Powerpuff Girl motif, but at the same time I feel like maybe it doesn't work considering Buttercup's not yellow, Buttercup's color is green, so maybe that's better on a thematic with like the starter Pokemon. If you wanted to do that, that could work. Also, I don't think we've ever seen the we've been here before. I don't fucking remember, but Powerpuff Girls is definitely a thematic we've not come across. I love when Rancor only sometimes feels like explaining itself. It's just kind of funny. I saw Aurora a lot, and I don't have a problem with it, but I just don't think it's that special, especially since we have Aurora Beam. So, I don't know, do what you will with it. But to me, it's just not exciting. Riptide's another generic water-type nickname we see all the time. Aquarius, that one's going to be best fit on Starmie. That's the one I personally use, because water, star, you get it. Aquafina, spelled the correct way, and not after that one bitch who's got the funny name. That's a fucking drink, Dasani as well, if you wanted to do that. Samurai, we've seen this quite a few times. Again, Samurot's going to be the best choice for that, IMO. Location-based nicknames are fine. And at the end of the episode, I didn't really talk about recommendations at all, but I bitched about Flint, Michigan. I'm like, no one's going to think of that. Michigan itself is a lot more explanatory than just Flint, so sure, why not? It's a location-based nickname. Do whatever the fuck you want with it. Mizu is always trash. Katara, Korra, we see these all the time. I don't particularly have a strong opinion as far as them on Suicune. We just talked about Aurora. Rain Run. I think I saw that actually on Pokemon.net. It's not that fucking great of an idea anyway. Like, I don't know, to me that's kind of equivalent to what I also saw Splish Splash or Sploosh, so that's not good. Zephyr's fine. That I don't mind. That I think would be better on a flying type, and in particular, I think actually maybe Pidgey, and I might have said this in the original video, I don't recall. Pidgey would make sense because Falconer and the Zephyr badge, so if I were to pick any place for that, that would probably be the one to go. Wild Wave isn't shit. Riverus? A bit of a pun. Where's the pun? I don't see it. I see the river. You talk about run, but where's the S come from? Where's Russ? Who is Russ? Mist and Hexagon. Okay, yeah, whatever. I'm gonna highlight Serenity, although it is a real person's name. I've worked with a Serenity. Serenity also kind of just has that Binding of Isaac Bayonetta style vibe to it, so that one gets a pass. So this one, which when I was looking through updating the comments, I saw that Chaotic was doing a Colosseum theme, which I support, absolutely. But I do think we should alter, rather than just being Venus, which I mean Venus is fine on its own, it's just I don't think if you saw Venus you're going to associate with Colosseum. Maybe you would, but I think if you put Lady Venus, which will fit, that's going to definitely be like, 100% Colosseum rather than maybe the planet. That could just be me overthinking though. Water Boy I'm oddly okay with. Alright, when was this posted? I mean, it says a year ago, but I don't know if this... Okay, yeah, so at that point, Walking Away existed. And we talked about this in the other Paradox Pokemon episodes, where it's like, hypothetically, if you want, like I think it was probably Misdreavus or something like that, if you want, you could name your Misdreavus Fluttermane to reference what it eventually kind of becomes in future generations. I think that one's okay. Mo, Larry, and Curly. Now, I don't support the idea of naming it after real people because I just think that's lazy and boring. But a Three Stooges thing can at least kind of strengthen them if you use them all on the same team. Which, gonna say, for the Battle Royales, I did like using the Johto cats or the legendary birds or something like that. This works surprisingly well, actually. So, if you wanted to do that, it's an idea. So for this particular post, they're mentioning Latios and Suicune, which are both blue. But I like the idea of naming Beavis and Butthead. So although not relevant to Suicune, oh my gosh, unless you wanted to do Suicune and Walking Wake, then it could still work. Name one Beavis and one Butthead. I'm kind of okay with that. You could also use that for for like Volby, Illumise, Plusle, and Minun. What else comes in pairs? Latios. Yeah, I'm kind of okay with that. I don't think we've seen these before. Just the idea of sending out a Pokemon and its name Butthead strikes a sense in my immature brain. Okay, so that's that though. We reached the bottom. Right here is actually just, we technically saw the Tumblr Idiot before, but it wasn't on his official page. This is his official page. There's more Pokemon.net, which we already went through. So look, there it is. They referenced the Tumblr Idiot. But that's that as far as Suicune goes. We are going to go over the comment suggestions and see what you guys picked out. Alright, so there's a lot to unpack here in this one. But the Final Fantasy theme is one that's mentioned. We also see Fire Emblem tomes in there. I don't have a problem with those. Those are all fine. I'm going to acknowledge that and let you just read it on your own and do what you will with that. Apparently, I guess my stupid ass forgot Ludicolo existed or something. I don't know. Now we're going to go, and a reminder, if you want to look at this video, it's unlisted in the description below. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at Walking Wake and see if the internet could come up with anything for our prehistoric friend. I want to make sure I'm remembering this right. Oh my god, that's not what I was expecting. Okay. Apparently that's a film. I was thinking of the meme. That's a meme, right? Alright, so this is a lot of words and a lot of dinosaur talk. And I finished high school a long time ago, so I'm not exactly a dinosaur expert. But in my mind, I was like, Suicune's based off of a Velociraptor. But that little thing right there is just like, Suicune could be based off a bunch of different dinosaurs. Who fucking knows what? I don't know, to me, I feel like it kind of Velociraptor-esque, but I guess the dinosaur nerds know more than I do, and that's fine. So I don't really care about it, but yeah, when I saw that, I thought of the meme, which I don't remember what it's called, and apparently it's a reference to a film that's probably in the same vein as Sharknado, who knows. Reluctantly highlighting Aurorex, because if you named your Suicune Aurora, Aurorex is the next best step. Okay, so I don't know, I looked at this. and I thought about Jurassic World, Jurassic Park as a nickname. Technically, Jurassic Park could fit, but alternatively, because I know that the dinosaurs lived in different time periods, Jurassic just being a time period, you could, if you wanted to, if you could also know exactly their origin, you could name it after the time period that they are based off of as well. So you could name one Jurassic and then another whatever other fucking things that I forgot because I don't use it in the real world. But there's a nickname idea for you if you want to take that theme. And I mean, I did literally just look at it, but I don't know, just the name Blue, and I also saw Sue on there in reference to the largest preserved dinosaur intact. Those just aren't significant enough nicknames for it to work for me. Sorry. If they had better names, I'd be for it, but on their own, they're kind of shit. I'll highlight Vaporwave. I think it's okay, but not great. Kieran, a summon from Golden Sun. I'm gonna be honest, I thought that was a Dragon Ball Z character or something like that. That's what that name looks like to me. I also feel like I've seen it with a Q and it's like some god or some shit. The only other ones on here that I kind of want to highlight is he mentions Hudson, Nile, and Mississippi, all based off rivers. You could do that as an idea. I just don't particularly have that, oh hell yeah, kind of feeling to it. And then right down here, there's also Ricky Lake as well. Tiamat, that's Final Fantasy, I think. I'm learning about this after 5 years of Googling stupid shit. I think that's a Final Fantasy. It's some dragon from some fiction thing, if you want to do that. I don't mind the idea of Unity as a nickname as well. That also works in a Binding of Isaac Bayonetta virtual style nickname, if you want to use that. Where would I put that? I think maybe a better choice would be something like Zygarde or something like that, where it's a collection of Pokemon, because you know, you see like Legion all the time for shit like that, but Unity is not a bad one. Okay, that's that. We've reached the bottom as far as Walking Wake. And I'm a real. I don't hold the opinion that the Paradox names. I think IMO, I like the Paradox names for the past ones. I think they're all cool and unique, and I think the future ones are kind of boring. But I don't mind it. People shit on Walking Wake. I think it sounds fine. I don't mind it. I didn't write anything down. That's not to say we didn't find anything. There was just nothing that captivated me enough to be like, oh, hell yeah. And actually, do I have anything from before? Nope, it's blank. I don't nickname legendaries. Paradox Pokemon aren't technically legendaries, but considering Suicune is, I'm going to pile him in there. We're going to look at the comment suggestions you guys have written down. Alright, we already mentioned Final Fantasy. Sisu is a new one that I don't recognize. Venus, like I said, Venus is fine by itself. It could work. I just think Lady Venus could work better as well. It's a pick your poison what you want to do. King Fossil, the Walking Wake. I think I'm going to end this one by saying we mentioned in the Koraidon Miraidon episode that you could also use the Dawn suffix as well, or no, it wasn't the Dawn suffix, it was the Mirai Karai, Sui Karai or something like that, maybe if you wanted to do that. Karai-kun, if you want to do that alternatively as well for Walking Wake, since he's based off the past. But any other ideas and suggestions you have, feel free to put in the comments below. Give a thumbs up to the ones you think are good. Let us know what you'd use or recommend. And now that you are officially seeing this video, know that I have recorded all of the DLC nicknames, and it's all done, so obviously you can't submit shit. But just look forward to the rest of the nicknames coming out over the next few weeks.